How strong is Kyojuro Rengoku from Demon Slayer? Kyojuro was greatly enthusiastic in regard to his duties as a Hashira, and often came across as cheerfully eccentric. He was amiable, pure of heart, and boasted extraordinary technique and swordsmanship stemming from strict practice and discipline. He was an honorable warrior who adhered to his code of morals and principles that was instilled into him by his mother at a young age, the most significant being his belief that those who were born strong have a duty to protect the weak. Kyojuro also loved his family immensely, displaying great respect and worry towards his father, Shinjuro Rengoku, despite him growing slowly more aggressive and apathetic towards Kyojuro. He is incredibly encouraging and optimistic towards his little brother, Shinjuro Rengoku, believing in him and wishing him the best no matter what. This is further accentuated during his death, where his final words for his father and his little brother were "Take care of your body and follow your dreams no matter what." Kyojuro also believes that if someone lacks immense skill, their hard work towards their dreams and desire to help people doesn't count for nothing. Beneath his enthusiastic demeanor, Kyojuro is very logical and tactically intelligent, acting quickly and precisely in battle, especially when the lives of others are on the line. Kyojuro also is great in seeing talent in others, even in Nezuko, a demon which he wanted to kill beforehand, after seeing her risk her lives to fight and protect others. Though he is extremely optimistic, Kyojuro does sometimes have a sense of foreboding that those he believes in might die, especially his friends which he cares deeply for. Lastly, he, like most demon slayers, absolutely detests demons, usually because of their heinous deeds or because of their clashing morale values. Despite this, however, Kyojuro recognized and accepted Nezuko as a member of the Demon Slayer Corps after seeing her risk her life to protect innocence, showing that Kyojuro is capable of not letting his hatred for demons cloud his judgment. Abilities. Overall abilities. As a Hashira of the Demon Slayer Corps, Kyojuro was a very powerful and skilled combatant. Before he took his father's place, Kyojuro was already shown to be an amazing fighter. He successfully avenged the death of the 9 demon slayers that died to the flute demon by himself and later managed to single-handedly defeat lower rank 2, Hero, who even appraised his swordsmanship before he died. Moreover, his father, Shinjuro Rengoku, stated that, after he stopped teaching his son, Kyojuro trained himself to become a Hashira by learning from the guidebook of the flame-breathing style, a book which only had 3 volumes. As another testament to his strength, even demons as strong as upper rank 3, Akaza and the 4th strongest of the known demons, acknowledged and praised Kyojuro's strength. He even went as far as to offer to turn him into a demon so he could surpass his human limits and become stronger, something he only offered to swordsmen whose abilities he believed were refined to their utmost. Akaza also complimented his fighting spirit and stated that it was getting close to the realm of the highest, which implied that he was incredibly close to obtaining the transparent world. Extrasensory perception. Kyojuro had incredibly honed senses, such as when he was able to sense and perceive Akaza's immense presence and demon aura. Kyojuro was also capable of sensing demonic presences faster and more accurately than Tanjiro Kamado, who harbors an acute sense of smell, when he detected 2 demons right after another on a train before anyone else noticed. This ability also allowed him to precisely gauge the regenerative abilities and weaknesses of most demons, like Enmu. Kyojuro was also able to perceive Tanjiro's injuries and torn blood vessel accurately, which allowed him to teach him how to plug up that wound and prevent him from dying of blood loss. Furthermore, he was able to detect malice in Enmu's spells and prevented himself from getting incapacitated through detecting the malice of his spell. Immense speed and reflexes. As a Hashira, Kyojuro possessed tremendous speed and reflexes that even a trained and gifted demon slayer like Tanjiro couldn't perceive or register. Kyojuro could even cause tremors to the ground and nearly launching a train off its tracks by running at such high speeds. Moreover, Kyojuro could easily move at speeds much faster than the eye can see, decapitating demons before they can even react. His reflexes were so fast that he managed to cut Akaza's arm moments before the upper rank was going to hit Tanjiro. Kyojuro also managed to keep up with Akaza's high-speed techniques and incredibly swift movements, which he remarks is faster than the blink of an eye, sometimes even managing to outspeed him. This surprised and impressed Akaza himself, who openly expressed his amazement over. As another testament to Kyojuro's immense movement speed, Inosuke Hashira remarked that he was so fast that it seemed like he was in a completely different dimension. Immense stamina and endurance. Kyojuro displayed superhuman stamina and endurance during his battles over the course of the series. In his special one-shot, Kyojuro ruptured his eardrums, yet didn't flinch in the slightest, ignoring the pain and continuing to fight and win. In Kyojuro Rengoku's story, he suffered dozens of severe wounds and injuries from gunshots and explosions coming from the former lower rank 2 hero, but continued to stall enough time for all the bombs he planted to be disarmed without showing any signs of pain or fatigue, which shocked Hero, who questioned himself on whether the person he met in the past was really the same person he was fighting now. Furthermore, his battle against Enmu when he fused with an entire train, he was able to keep him at bay in 5 different train carts without tiring. Lastly, he managed to keep up with Akaza, one of the strongest demons in existence, despite physically and mentally exert himself beyond his limit and sustaining multiple irreparable and fatal wounds, like a smashed eye, shattered ribs and damaged internal organs. Most impressively, he managed to keep Akaza at bay despite having his vital spot, his solar plexus, pierced by the upper rank's arm and bleeding out. Despite all of his fatal wounds and injuries, he never once flinched or showed signs of pain or agony. Immense strength. As a Hashira who spent years perfecting his physical prowess, Kyojuro possessed amazing physical strength, being capable of swinging his katana at speeds faster than the eye can see incessantly with terrifying accuracy while engaging in combat, and even send Akaza flying an astonishing distance into a forest with a single blade swing. Kyojuro could also lift an entire train off its tracks by simply dashing forward. Even when he first became a demon slayer, he had enough strength to instantly rupture his own eardrums by hitting his ears with his hands. Kyojuro also possessed exceptional grip strength that enabled him to hold down Akaza, one of the physically strongest characters in the series, despite having his solar plexus pierced earlier and sustaining multiple other fatal wounds, to the point which Akaza expressed his disbelief and shock over Kyojuro's strength, which he describes as unbelievable. Indomitable will. Kyojuro had an undaunted spirit and indomitable willpower, which even impressed the likes of upper rank 3, Akaza. Ever since he was a child, he had inculcated indomitable will and passion in himself due to his promise to his late mother. Even when the upper rank overwhelmed him with powerful attacks, giving Kyojuro insidious wounds, he remained steadfast and resolute. After Kyojuro lost an eye and had internal wounds caused by Akaza, he still persisted, vehemently expressing his unwavering will and determination, saying that he will protect the lives of the other innocent people no matter what. Finally, when Akaza's fist pierced his solar plexus, it triggered a memory reminding Kyojuro of his mother again, giving him the final push to cut the upper rank's neck. In the end, though his efforts were in vain, his incredible determination had a profound effect on Tanjiro, giving the incentive to push on no matter the turmoil he faced. Keen intellect. As a swordsman who came from a lineage of Flame Hashira, Kyojuro had access to generations of combat knowledge and tactics as well as training from previous Flame Hashira, like his father, Shinjuro Rengoku. Kyojuro could also master the entire flame-breathing style just from reading 3 volumes of a book on it. During the battle against Akaza, he displayed keen judgment, like after being attacked by Akaza's destructive death, air-type, he realizes that he must fight at close range if he wanted to increase the chances of cutting of his head. Even when the usually deductive and sagacious Tanjiro Kamado was at a loss of how to kill Enmu, Kyojuro instinctively knew that, no matter what form a demon takes, it will always have a weak spot. He also possesses great knowledge in the use of the total concentration breathing, knowing how to plug minor wounds and hemorrhaging and save Tanjiro from dying of blood loss. As another testament to his tactical intellect, Kyojuro could instantly read his allies' sign language at indicating the flute demon's abilities despite being unable to fully control their movements and execute a countermeasure before the demon's blood demon art befell him. Fighting style. Master swordsman. As he was a Hashira of the Demon Slayer Corps, Kyojuro was one of the most powerful and skilled swordsmen in the entire organization. Additionally, Kyojuro is part of the Rengoku family, which has an impressive lineage of powerful swordsmen and Flame Hashira, giving Kyojuro an edge in developing and polishing his swordsmanship. His extraordinary swordsmanship skill has been displayed on multiple occasions across the series. In his battle against the former lower rank 2 hero, Kyojuro was able to outwield the demon's Bushido sword style, which Hero appraised as he was decapitated. Kyojuro's precise blade work could also slow down Enmu in his fused form, which gave him the opportunity to explain his plan to Tanjiro and Inosuke. His mastery of the blade is best showcased during his battle with Akaza, in which he was more than capable of fighting on equal ground with the upper rank who has killed countless demon slayers and even Hashira over the last century, even to the point that Akaza constantly praised Kyojuro's swordsmanship. Breathing style. Flame breathing, a breathing style taught to Kyojuro by the previous flame Hashira, Shinjuro Rengoku, and later mastered by reading the instruction books left behind by previous flame Hashira in the Rengoku family. As the flame Hashira, Kyojuro is his generation's most skilled flame-breathing user. He became evidently proficient in fighting with this breathing style, being able to single-handedly defeat former lower rank 2 hero and later hold his own against upper rank 3 Akaza. Equipment. Standard Nichiren katana. Kyojuro carried a standard-sized and shaped katana made from scarlet ore that is a deep shade of reddish-orange in color with the words Destroyer of Demons engraved on the side. There is also a noticeable flame pattern on each side of his katana with a white handle. Kyojuro's sword Tsuba is shaped like a flame with a red core and orange border. He also carried a standard sword sheath that was white and gray in color.